Hey, family. It's your family CPA, Jasmine Young, and you're listening to the Talk Wealthy to Me podcast. Get you a black CPA. We out here. Hey, family. It's your family CPA back with another episode of Talk Wealthy to Me, and I'm excited about today's episode. Today's topic is a little bit different, something we've never talked about before, and I'm so excited to have my friend, my sister, Miss Abena Souffrant from Huntsville, Alabama, on the show with us today. Abby, long time.
Hey, hi everybody. Hey, Jess. Thank you so much for having me on your platform, girl. Let's go.
I'm so glad you accepted the invitation to come because you have a special thing going on with what you do in business, and I felt that it was important for us to talk about it. I mean, it's another way for people to become wealthy, especially business owners. So we're excited to actually have you here to talk with us about government contracting. I'm very familiar with the topic. I've been working with the federal government for 11 years up until December of 2022. And we actually have a lot of family members that we serve in my CPA firm who are also government contractors. So I was like, oh, this is a topic we need to talk about. Who can I get to come and talk about government contracting? You better than Abena Souffrant.
Hello.
So I know who you are and what you do, but tell our conversationalists, as we like to call our listeners, who you are and what you do. What's your business like? What's the tea? Just give it to us.
Okay, y'all. I'm gonna give y'all the tea. What's going on, y'all? My name is Abena Souffrant. I am owner, operator of A&O Business Solutions, and we help small businesses enter into the government contract arena. It is a whole nother game on the other side of the fence. It's crazy, it's chaotic, it's confusing, but that's why you have me and my team to help integrate y'all on that side so that y'all can scale up in a whole nother way.
Hey, when she say scale, she ain't tripping, y'all. Take it from somebody who's been on the other side of granting government contracts. She ain't lying. So if you a business owner and you want to be a government contractor, I'm telling you, you need to be tuned in.
Tap in. They ain't going nowhere. They not going nowhere.
Never. The government will be forever. Forever. I don't care how much they tell y'all about this spending deficit that we're in. The government gonna spend the money as long as y'all keep paying y'all taxes. So it's gonna be there. So let's get into it. Abby, talk to us a little bit about entering into the world of government contracting. What does that look like? How does one even do that? If a business owner wants to be a government contractor, where do they even start?
Okay, so the government does business with businesses.
Right.
It does not do business with people. It taxes people and businesses, but it does business with businesses. So your business, your foundation, your structure has to be in place first and foremost. If you don't have that together, just wait. Get yourself together.
Right.
Have your EIN, have your business name registered, have a business bank account.
Listen, say that one more time, that registration piece.
Have your business registered with the Secretary of State, because the government, they fact check. They
yes, we do.
All these avenues before they even give you the slip of approval, which is a cage code to say, yes, you could do business with us.
Yes.
So they have their checkers that they go by. And I promise you, they're not hard because it's something that we as business owners should already have in place.
Right.
So if you do our due diligence from the beginning, we can honestly work with anybody, right? So have your ducks in a row, right? And then it's best to know what problems do you solve, right? Mm-hmm. The government is the number one customer in the world. This past January, President Biden and the Biden-Harris administration approved their budget of $1.7 trillion for this year. So if y'all don't really know how many numbers that is, that's 1 and a comma, 7 and 11 zeros. And in that budget is something for me, is something for Jasmine, and I'm almost certain is something for all of y'all there. So the government is huge. The government got a lot of problems. They got way more problems than any of us got. Now we got problems.
And more problems than they tell y'all about too.
Listen, they can't publicize everything because it would be like a real life friend.
Right.
So business owners, this is how business owners and the government integrate. The government got problems, and believe it or not, they don't solve their own problems. They solve some, they solve the important ones, especially the ones that they don't publicize. But majority of their problems, we as business owners, we solve that for them. That's where we come into play. That's where contracting comes into play. The government's like, we have this problem. We're going to put it out in the form of a solicitation. We're going to put it out on our vendor platform. And those who are eligible or feel like they can solve that problem, they write a proposal and submit it. That's the quick and easy way. There's a lot more details in between. But if it's quick and easy, not to go over your head, that's just what it is. And so the government, there's 3 levels to government, essentially, right? You have your federal government, that's the big boys. That's where the big money at. But you also have your states. Every state is its own entity, right? So they all have their budgets. They also all have their own problems. And then you have local. And your local will be like your city, your county, as well as your schools. People don't realize that schools are also government agencies, but they all have big budgets to help solve a problem.
So I like what you said about getting the structure of your business correct. Like, I see that being a CPA, I see that being the biggest issue with business owners when they're trying to not only just get their accounting together, but trying to scale their business. You can't scale if your structure isn't right. A lot of people start a new business and they come right off the bat as an S corp. Why? You don't have any money. There's no reason for you to be an S corp. Or they start their business and they're a C corp. Why? That's double taxation. Why would you do that? They don't know what they don't know. They just hear a lot of things on social media and take it as, the holy grail. And now you're in a situation where you got to start over and get your structure right. So I'm so glad you said that. Another thing that came to mind as you were speaking is during the State of the Union that President Biden recently did, he mentioned how they created, I want to say it was over 1 million new small business owners. And just think about the new business owners that started and that $1.7 billion budget that they have. Split that up over all of these businesses. You can scale just off of that alone. So I think it's very important for small businesses to look at other ways to scale their businesses. And what better way? If y'all trying to get the government money, listen, you ain't got a scam to do it. They will give it to you. They will give it to you. So talk about these opportunities for business owners. What do those opportunities look like? I know you talked about, solving problems. But what type of businesses can become government contractors? Because I know there's a lot of people that may be, nail shop owners or restaurant owners. Like, what do these opportunities look like? Are they specific to a specific group? Just talk a little bit about that.
Listen, the government buys everything. They buy all kind of services. They buy all kind of products. As far as I know, there's 2 things that they don't buy, at least on the record: alcohol, illegal drugs, and sex. Outside of that,
not on the record.
I say on the record, right?
Right.
Now, what they do off the record is their business.
Right.
But on the record, they don't buy those things, right?
Right.
And so everything else is up for grabs, right? And so with each administration, they have specific problems that they're going to focus on, right? So right now, big problems that exist for us is mental health. If you're a mental health specialist, baby, they need you from the top down.
Right.
Everybody, adults.
And I can speak from my side, just working with the last agency I worked with, Veteran Affairs. They need it
badly.
They need it
badly. I don't have those skill sets, so I can't serve, right? But I have a lot of people that have those skill sets, and I try to help them integrate, because when the government highlights specific problems, that means they got big budgets to solve that problem.
Right.
So all they need you to do is pull up. Right. But you just don't pull up like, hey, I do this. Remember, I said y'all got to have your business structure and foundation together. Have your piece in place so that you can solve the problem. And the reward is you get the bag. We ain't got to worry about the bag with the government because they already got it. And they tend to overspend. Now, when I overspend, I get a negative charge in my account. I get insufficient funds. But the government, they just kind of keep on spending and spending and spending and spending. And they go on the back end, they tax us, and they make that, they recoup their funds. They recoup it back at some point.
Right.
However, for me, I feel like you got unlimited funds, and I have the skill set to help solve that problem. So I'm gonna figure out how to integrate my business to help y'all solve this problem. So mental health is a big one, especially coming out of the pandemic. From every age group possible is struggling, and so doesn't matter what age group you are, you offer your services, they need your help. Another big one is homelessness.
Very big in Department of Veteran Affairs.
Major, and right, because the vets are getting older.
Yep.
They need places to stay. The government giving stipends for veterans to stay in housing. I'm about to give you a whole strategy right now. They're giving whole good stipends for veterans to stay in rooms. So if you got a 3-bedroom house, I'm just saying you might be able to rack up.
Right.
But you're solving a problem. You're keeping them off the streets.
Right.
Another major problem that they also have integrated and allocated a lot of funds to is business owners. I know y'all done seen the prices of eggs lately. I know y'all have seen inflation a lot of things in the grocery store. A lot of businesses went under because of the pandemic.
Right.
And it's been hard to recover. So as the forefront of our economics in our country, small businesses have an intricate play on how economics is how things operate. They need businesses to stay in place. They need businesses to be sustainable. They need businesses to operate. But businesses also need people. And so me also as a business owner, I don't want to pay my people crumbs. I want to pay them a livable wage for them to take care of them and their family, as well as when they take their time off from working, that they have the resources to get their mental together, to do self-care, whatever they got to do to recharge, to still love themselves. I'm not trying to pay crumbs.
Right.
And so the government, along with us having a lot of unemployment, they realize that if we don't support our business owners, it's going to be really, really bad.
Absolutely. And you know what I like about this, and I've never said this openly. Like I've talked to a couple of people and shared my opinion about it, but the pandemic was good to me. It was good to me. I caught COVID 3 times. Not to say I didn't catch COVID. I had family members to catch it. I had family members to pass away, and that was the hardest part. But from a business standpoint, the pandemic was the best thing that ever happened to me. And from a government contracting standpoint, it is really the best thing that has happened for business owners as well. We just have to get in the mindset to see the opportunity and be able to walk in it. A lot of people think that, I don't really want to deal with the government. People try to scam the government to get money that isn't rightfully theirs. Hey, you can get this money the right way. But the government, baby, is about their processes. You gotta follow their process. You gotta do everything exactly how they want you to do it if they're going to give you the money. So I don't want people thinking, oh, well, I can't get in with the government because they want this, that, and the third. They're trying to keep business owners down. No, they're trying to make sure that your business is legit before they give you the money. Because once you get one contract, speaking from an ex-federal government worker, once you get one contract, it's so easy to continue to get them. So they want to make sure, hey, before I pump our wealth into you, let me make sure you're legit. So talk to us, Abby, a little bit. I know you mentioned, business structure, getting into the system so that you can get a cage code. That's something we looked at on contract. But what other steps do they need to get? Like, are there certifications they need to get in order to be a government contract? Like, what does that look? Are there special certifications for Black business owners? What does that look like?
Girl, yes. So after you get registered and you're cleared to do work with the federal government, with your state or local government, because everybody has their own portals, right? Right. If you think about it, every budget has its own portal, right? So if you could just, so it's a lot of opportunities out there. So the secret sauce, like the cherry on top, is the certifications.
Yes,
now you don't need the certifications to get started. as long as once you get your approval, baby, you're good to go. But if you want to accelerate, if you want to stand out, if you want to, be the creme de la creme, like I like to call it, you need to get your certifications. And so there's so many different certifications. So on a state level, you can get your MBE, which is a minority business enterprise, your WBE, a woman business enterprise. And basically that just says that this business is operated from a minority or a woman, or you can also have a DBE, your disadvantaged business enterprise. You can also have your hub zone. So those are economically disadvantaged areas, which I love hub zones because hub zones get a lot of money.
Yes, ma'am. The government,
i.e., put your business in the hood.
Right.
Just for being in the hood. And
I'm glad you said that. I'm so glad you said that because we tend to grow our businesses and leave the hood and desert our areas. We actually need these businesses. Hey, come back and set up shop here because you can pump money back into your own community because they're going to give it to you just based off of where your business is located. I know from a government standpoint, when I did contracts, the government actually has a standard. They have a qualification that you have to give these certain businesses the opportunity first before you go outside and get another business to provide you the service. So we're actually at an advantage to be, a woman business entity, a minority business entity, disabled veterans. That's another certification. Like they actually have a requirement. And if they don't use those businesses, they actually have to provide a justification to the contract specialist to say why they didn't go with these businesses that are disadvantaged, that are minority owned. So the government, y'all, they want to help us. We just have to get in place to get the money.
That's it.
We gotta get in place.
We gotta pull up. We're trying to elevate and execute out the hood, baby. The hood is paying. You just don't know what part of the hood is paying.
Right.
You gotta know these things. Listen, I know this. Jasmine, we tap in. We will let you know.
Right.
And it's funny because when you think about the businesses that are in the hood, that stay in the hood, you always wonder, like, why are y'all still here? They know.
They know. They know the play. They know the play, Abena. They know the play. So,
they rent $200
contract. Run the play. What does that look like? Like if somebody's like, okay, we're listening to the show, we want in with government contracting. Let's run the play. What does that look like?
Okay, register, do your certifications. Woman owned, are you woman owned, minority, hub zone, service disabled veteran? You can do 8A, but I like to wait for 8A. 8A is like the best of the best. You wait a little bit. You need to contract a little bit before you do that. Do your certifications. They take sometimes anywhere between 4 weeks to 6 months. Get that in first. And while those are processing, get to understand your portals, where you want to do business. Am I doing business on the federal side, the state side, local, city? Find out where those portals are. My mentor group, I tell you where the portals are. They right there, and most of y'all don't even know they right there. You can make money just by working with just your city, and most people don't even know it. You didn't even got to go that far. You have to know who has the budget for me to solve a problem, and we good to go.
Absolutely.
So once you know, really backtrack just a second. You need to know what problem you solve, because you can't be out here trying to solve all their problems. It's way too many.
Right.
Know your niche, know your business, know what you do, and then be confident and know that you can do that.
Right.
I like to say, don't depend on other people when it comes to contracting, because it's all going to fall on you. You can't point the finger at somebody else.
Right.
No, your business that's registered needs to handle this problem. And so when things fall by the wayside, and they do, you as a business owner need to solve that problem for yourself. Right? So again, register, certifications, understand and know the problem you solve, and then go look and see where are those opportunities.
So when you talk about registering, of course, I know what you mean, but for somebody who is new to government contracting, where are they registering? What are they registering and why?
So you're basically registering your business in a vendor portal. So on the federal side, you have SAM.gov, and where everything that you register for the federal government will be. And I will say, if it doesn't have a .gov, it's a scam. Okay?
Scammers.
Scam. Because all these entities have a .gov. Probably minus the school system, but they usually have .edu.
.edu, yes, ma'am.
You know when you register for your new domain and they be like, you can't use this name, you can't use these terms, you can't use whatever. That's specifically because those business entities are already identified in those categories.
Yep.
So don't get scammed, y'all. There's a lot of scammers out there. And if you got scammed, I'm sorry. Look, get back on track. It ain't too far. It ain't too late, and the budget ain't going nowhere. It's all right. And so we talk about portals. So every state has their own statewide portal. So like in Alabama, I'm in Alabama, we actually have 2 state portals. We have Stars and we have Alabama Buys. Look, I gave you a whole lot. It took me months to figure out where that was because it was hidden. I had to find it. And people act like when I called them that they didn't know what I was talking about. You know where your contracts are.
They're not gonna give you the plug for free.
They're not gonna give me the plug. But guess what? I'm good at what I do. I find out everything. That's okay. I'm gonna pull up on you. But the good thing about the government is that when they do wrong, you hold them accountable.
Absolutely.
And accountable. And I like to hold them accountable in person, in like town hall meetings and stuff. Because then they'd be like, all right, you know something. I do. You better treat me right.
Right.
I'm a woman on minority business in the hub zone, baby. You better speak to me good. Okay?
Right. Talk to me nice.
Talk to me nice. And so basically a registration really is just a registration of your business. All the information that you should have for your business, name, where you're located, if you have any certifications. And then you also identify what NAICS code. So your NAICS code, NAICS, you can go to NAICS.com. It is their industry code associated with the work that your business does. Right. And so you want to identify with a few of them because some of them overlap. You know, some of your services and products may overlap in multiple industries. So you want to identify, I would say for the government, anywhere between 10 to 15 NAICS codes, because you want to be able to not only diversify, but you want to be able to meet their needs. And sometimes where those NAICS codes are obvious to us, sometimes the government doesn't operate fully for those services under that NAICS code. So that's why I say try to get 10 to 15 that you have your primary, and then you have some that are like
subcategories.
Yeah, your subcategories. And so you're able to still capture the interest of, those opportunities that come out. Right. And so when you register and all that, you're put in their portal, and the NAICS codes that you associate yourself with, they send you emails with opportunities and bids that are associated with those NAICS codes. So you don't always have to go in the portal and look. Your inbox is going to be flooded with those opportunities.
Right.
So they do the service for you.
Right.
So it's like, hey, we have this problem. Can you solve it? You be like, you looking for me?
You just gotta get in there. You gotta get in there. So let me stop you for a second, because of course I know the answer, but I really want to help business owners get into the government contracting piece, because it's the way to be. I actually have government contracts with my CPA firm, so I know this to be true. When you talk about registering and certifications, which one should a new business that's trying to get in government contracting, which one should they do first? Should they get the certifications and then register, or should they register and then go get the certifications?
I would do the certifications first.
Certifications first, because you want to be able to put those certifications on your registration application when you do it. So, Abby, listen, I'm getting chills. I can get so excited just talking about this, because this is like you giving away the play. This is it. Like, if you ever thought about being a government contractor and didn't know what to do, like this is the episode to listen to. So y'all listen, we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna take a commercial break, and I want you to go grab 3 of your friends that's business owners that are not government contractors. Bring them back so that when we come back from this commercial break, we can continue to give y'all the tea and give y'all the bag. Give y'all the bag. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Join us for the Black Wall Street Black Business Expo and create the change you want to see. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Listen, I'm talking to Abena Souffrant. We're talking about getting the bag through government contracting. And listen, if you are just now tuning in, I want to encourage you to go back and listen to the beginning of the episode, because Abby dropped some tea off with us today about how to get the bag through government contracting. Like, she's giving you the play. So Abby, back to what we were discussing before we took a break. We were talking about registering your business with sam.gov if you're trying to get federal government contracts, getting your certifications, and just basically how to get into government contracting. So we talked about sam.gov. What about for those state and local platforms that people want to get contracts through? Is there a separate platform that they need to register under in order to get state and local opportunities?
Yes. Everybody got their own thing going on.
Right.
You think that everybody's separate gang. You got the Alabama gang, you got the Georgia gang, you know what I'm saying? And even within the state, you got your city gangs, you got Atlanta, you got Duluth, you got Decatur, you got everybody got their own
stuff.
Everybody got their own stuff. They got their own budget. They got their own portal.
Right. Okay. So is there like a central place that people can go to get access to where this entity's portal is, or whether
actually let me back up. Yes, your central place is me, because you're not gonna find it.
You better be plugged.
Let me back that up. I am your central plug. Okay, you can look online.
Y'all, it's a lot of research that goes into this, but why research when you have Abena Souffrant right here? So Abby, talk to us about your government contracting mentor group, like what you're doing in there to help business owners get the bag through government contracting.
So I love my people because they do so many different amazing things. They vary great and wide. There is no industry that is not useful to the government, right? So in my crew, I show them where their portals are, where to log in, what to put in if they have questions. Like, I do training and I do question and answer at the same time. And so I always start with who needs to find their portal. Because if you don't know where your portal is, then we're not getting to the opportunities.
Right.
And there's nothing useful for me to teach you if you can't get into where you need to get to. Now, I will say this as a plug. You don't have to do work in your state. You can do work in any state that you want to. You just have to follow their rules and guidelines if you want to operate your business in another state. Everybody got their rules and regulations, like, for instance, for the most part, everybody can work in the state of Virginia. They're very flexible for outside companies to work in their state and to register in their portal. They're one of the easiest. And they got a lot of money too, because they're right there by DC. So I like looking into Virginia. They got a lot of bag.
Now, from a legal standpoint, you guys, if you've ever heard of a foreign entity in another state, that's what they mean. They mean that your business is not a Virginia owned or Georgia owned or an Alabama business. So, for instance, my CPA firm is here in Atlanta, Georgia, but we're also in Alabama. So my Georgia entity is a foreign entity in Alabama, but we're registered there as well. So that's what they mean. So foreign entity, you want to look into that as well.
Yeah. And they will explain all of that in your registration process. You make sure that you're registered with our Secretary of State as a foreign entity, and then you can just go on from there. So you can register like in your state. Laura, I lost my train of thought, Chad. I'm still thinking about.
Listen, it happens when there's so much information to give. Sometimes you just lose it. So in your group, you train them, on the portal. And also to help them find the portals, and then also train them as well. Talk to us a little bit about what that training looks like.
Okay, so once we identify where your portals are, where you want to do business, then we start to source contracts. And that's just another term for locate, find contracts. So live in the group, we'll look through the portals and see what are active contracts available.
Mm-hmm.
And based off of something that are some that are interesting or that are applicable to some of the people in the group, I will we'll pull them, we'll download them, we'll go through them, and we'll go through a quick outline of how our response needs to look like. Because everything you need to explain and how to do the scope of work is right there in that contract.
Mm-hmm.
And so everything you need to know, you don't have to guess with them. You don't have to guess, what do I have to put in there?
Right.
It's right there on paper. Now, you can always ask for clarity with the buyer or the contracting officer by all means, and they give you deadlines to do that. Like, everything is detailed on these solicitations.
Right.
And so you have to follow the guidelines that they put out there. And on there, they'll tell you who they are, what their problem is, what they need you to do, and essentially explain how you're going to solve this problem for us. And then here is the grading rubric of what we find valuable to least valuable on your points. Like we're back in grade school, we're getting graded.
Right.
We're getting graded for your proposal of how effective it is to help us solve our problem. And
so I wanna highlight something you said about them putting the solicitations out and them grading you. So from a federal government side, where I came from, we're actually asking, we're soliciting businesses to help us solve this specific problem. In order to respond to these solicitations, you guys, you have to submit what's called an RFP. They want, they want a proposal.
Mm-hmm.
They're
so the government agency, they put out an RFP,
right, for you to respond.
Because there's a whole nother language to have RFP, RFI, RFQ.
Right, request for information, proposals, all that good stuff.
So they put out what they need. That's what it's called. Our response is a proposal.
Right.
In a formal proposal, yes.
So we want to make sure that proposal is together. And if you don't know how to put a proposal together, that's why you have people like Abena Souffrant.
You come in a group, and I tell you, and I also review proposals. Like, you ain't got to be in my group. I just, all my stuff is on my website. So you want me to review your proposal? Pull up on me. That's all I say.
Absolutely. Now, this group that you have, Abby, do you charge people to get, like, how would somebody get in the group if they wanted to?
Okay, so it's on my website, www.albizsolutions.com. And then I posted on my social medias too. And so funny enough that you asked about that, because I'm actually upgrading the group. And I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're in the state of Alabama, y'all go love me, because I'm starting with my state first, right? I'm putting out all my resources that I found, connections, portals. Like, I'm making it very easy and user friendly for those of you who are in Alabama to get the bag.
Yes, right? Ma'am.
So my resource group my general resource group is $50 a month. We meet every Monday at 8 p.m. Central Time for an hour, but sometimes we go over because it's just good, and I don't want to cut off time because I'm just flowing. We're just going back and forth, and we're just giving information, and it's just hot. Right. It generally is for an hour. Like I said, we do question and answer. We do we review proposals. We find your portal. We do a lot in one session. And then I also, in our group, because our platform is on Patreon. We have a portal, so I dump resources in there as well, right? And so today, actually, we're launching our VIP. And so with our VIP resource, we're actually dumping active contracts in that portal that are I wouldn't say friendly, but that are pretty popular, that people want to respond to. And so a lot of people, and this is what I'm known for shopping contracts, right? People are like, what are shopping contracts? Like, you just shop for the government? Essentially, I do a little bit, because the government asks for everything. So people love to know about what are shopping contracts, where do you find them? And so I dump all that into my group. And so part of the VIP group, I dump at least 5 shopping contracts a week that are active, and they'll be nationwide, or they may be from the federal government. And I leave it up to y'all. If y'all want to go bid on them, great. I also provide you resources of where to find your wholesalers, distributors, supplier networks, so that you can also get the best pricing, because sometimes you don't always have to be a supplier or manufacturer, but you can have great connections and collaborations with these companies, and you can still solve a problem.
Absolutely.
And so, I love doing shopping contracts because it's you in and you out. They pretty much give you a nice little grocery list, I call it, of thousands of items. Now, I will say this, people love shopping contracts, but you got to have that financial backing to be able to take care of it, because you can't get a contract and be like, how am I going to buy these items? You should have your funding resources in place before you pull up to a shopping contract. If the contract's going to cost you $600,000, if that's how much the products will cost you, and if you ain't got that, then you don't need to, you have no business pulling up to it.
Right.
Now, have your resource partners, banks, lines of credit, business credit in line. That's where all that comes into play. And let me just tell y'all a quick nugget. For those of y'all that got the business credit, you can use your business credit and rack up points.
Absolutely.
You should know what to do.
Me. Give me my free flight so I can go.
You should already know what to do with it. I ain't gonna tell you what to do with it, but you can rack up some good points.
Right.
Bring items for the government.
Listen, I love when y'all come on the show and y'all launch y'all's new products and services. It just give me a tingle in my spine. I just love it because our conversationalists, they like to basically break y'all websites because they flooding the sites trying to get to the information that y'all are sharing with us. So I absolutely love when y'all do that. So before we cut to another commercial break, but I want to allow you, Abby, to share with us where we are going to get this information. We're going to go to a quick break. And when we come back, I want you to share with us where they can find this information. So y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Study the history of revolution, you find that many of the leaders of revolutions, political, economic, social, didn't believe that they were capable of bringing forth a new reality for their people.
A lot of people think that their money issues come from not having enough money. The issue that comes as it relates to supporting Black-owned businesses is the psychological trauma that is connected to how we spend our money.
I want everyone to realize that I think the new statistic is something like 50% of Black people do not own property. And that's actually worse than what it was a couple of decades ago, right? So we're actually declining when it comes to putting yourself in positions of wealth.
Without further ado, we want to reward one lucky vendor with our Black Wall Street grant. So I came up with this grant in order to pour back into our community and give one vendor a year the funds that they need to further their business and exemplify Black excellence.
Welcome back. Listen, y'all, this is probably one of the best episodes we have ever had on the show. It's such a different topic. Talking about government contracting with my friend, my sister, Abena Souffrant, who is a award-winning government contractor. So Abby, you shared so much with us today. I really appreciate you coming to launch your new services on the show. So I want you to just this moment is about you. How can business owners connect with you? Just give us all the tea. Where can they find you? Where can they connect with you?
All right. So if you want to get in my group and get that real time interaction, understanding of government contracting, pull up on us on patreon.com/resource membership. That's what my group is. For any of my services, I have it broken down between a self-paced, a community, and our hands-on a la carte, where we kind of do all your government contracting stuff. All that can be found on my website, which is www.albizsolutions.com. And y'all are always welcome to pull up on me on social media. You can find me at Abby Souffrant, ABBYSOUFFRANT. TikTok, Facebook. You definitely want to tap into YouTube, because I'm going to be teaching about government contract for the free 99.
Come on, free 99. We love it.
Y'all can get that real time understanding. This stuff is available for free, but I break it down in a way that's a little bit more feasible, understandable, with actionable steps for us to definitely execute and succeed. And so you want to pull up on me on YouTube at Abby Souffrant, because that's where all of the trainings are going to be for the free 99, because I want to see more of us in the industry.
Absolutely.
It's only 1.6% of us in the industry right now. We need to increase that number by a lot. So
listen, and we're all about increasing those percentages and increasing our representation across every industry. So all my conversationalists, y'all know how we do. Go to Abby's website. I want y'all to crash her site. Sign up for the group. Sign up for the membership. Follow her on social media. Go to her YouTube. Y'all know what to do. We love supporting Black business owners, especially from Alabama, because that's where I'm from. So I love to see it. Abby, thank you so much for coming and sharing your wealth of knowledge with our conversationalists. It's so needed. I really, really appreciate you. I wish you the absolute best. And listen, anytime you got anything else you want to launch, you want to talk about, or any updates that deal with government contracting that you feel would be beneficial for our business owners and just our community to know, please don't hesitate to come back. We would love to have you back on the show. Miss Abena Souffrant, everybody. Thank you so much, Abby. We really, really appreciate you. Until next time, you guys, I'm wishing you love, peace, and generational wealth.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Talk Wealthy to Me. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like, comment, and share.